things have changed now. Luxury hotels have changed now. It's not about, I don't think it's about the marble and gold anymore. It's about, crafted experiences and really getting to know your guests, understanding why they're here and why the purpose of their visit, and working with the team to create memorable experiences.
Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where To From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe. Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Where To From Here. My name is Renae Leith-Manos, and on this podcast, we go into some of the world's very best and most luxurious hotels all over the world. Today, we are going to one of my favourite cities in Australia, and that's Melbourne, to the suburb of South Yarra. Now, for those of you who have never been to South Yarra, this is one of Australia's most stylish, most elegant, most fun areas to go to. There are amazing restaurants, great beauty salons, great hairdressers. As a woman, I love it. And of course, there is Ovolo Hotel. And we've got Chris talking to us, who's the general manager, Christos Pavlidis. Now, that name has to be Greek. Let's find out. Now, are you Greek, Christos?
Yeah. Luckily, I'm one of the many Greeks in Melbourne. There's a big migration back in the day, I believe. So yeah,
Yeah. Is
100%
it
Greek.
still the biggest Greek population in Australia, in Melbourne, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's slowed off a bit. They're still very strong and deep rooted.
Yeah.
It's great. Now the second and third generation young Greeks are coming out, and it's still a strong culture around it. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
where's your family from in Greece?
Actually, my mum and dad, and sisters are there at the moment enjoying the summer of Greece. We're from the north, from a place called Thessaloniki, so the second biggest city out of Athens. So
Oh,
yeah, so
beautiful. Well, my family's from the south, just outside Tripoli on the mainland. So, and I've
beautiful.
been there
Yeah.
so many times. Greece is one of my favorite countries in the world.
Oh, it's stunning, and I'm so envious. My sister FaceTimed me yesterday, and she's was on one of the islands and just enjoying life with my other sister, and I'm sitting here in the cold. Actually, it's not too bad, but it's been pretty cold.
Greek people know how to live and they know how to eat, and you're a chef. So, what influence has your, Greekness had on your career as a chef?
Yeah, that's a big influence. Obviously being Greek, I spent a long time as a kid with my Yaya and my mum in the kitchen. I spent more time with them than I did with my dad in the backyard. So I learned all about the stories of the recipes and the villages and them in their childhood, and it really drew me into the kitchen, which was amazing because it's the smells and the cultures and the techniques, and then studying that at TAFE really just drew that passion into me. Yeah, I loved it. I loved every moment. Even now, certain things trigger the smells, and like Easter, and my mum still makes the Greek turkey, the Greek bread, the tureki. And then as soon as I smell that, it just brings me back to my childhood. I love it.
Yeah, I love those biscuits they make at Easter with the icing on them, the icing
Oh,
sugar, the
to die
half
for.
moon ones. Oh,
To die for.
unbelievable. I can eat like 20 of those, so I need to keep away from them, Christos.
That's why I look the way I look. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, resistance is impossible. So what was your first job and what led you into sort of the world of luxury hotels, away from the kitchen?
Yeah. So I did my apprenticeship many, many moons ago, and back then I got a job at La Meridian, which is now the Intercontinental on Collins Street, where the old Rialto is. And I quickly found out I wasn't probably passionate enough to be yelled at in the kitchen by the chefs back. It's
It's a
very
tough
different
gig.
now, which
Being
is
a chef in a luxury hotel is one of the toughest gigs, don't you think? And they do get shouted at.
oh, it was intense. Even then, it was just really hard. And perhaps I was a bit young and naive, didn't expect it. So I made the change out of the kitchen not too long after I started. I did a couple of years in the hotel there, and then went back to uni, did a degree in business and hotel management. But it really taught me discipline in the kitchen and structure and how to work. Very military. It's like everything had its purpose and a why.
Yeah, interesting. And obviously, you grew up in Melbourne. That's how you started your career. And Melbourne has always been synonymous with incredible food. Why do you think that is?
We're a melting pot of beautiful cuisine. So
Mm.
from the Italian to the Alta tortillas in Carlton to now you got world-class Vietnamese in Footscray, amazing Middle Eastern in Brunswick and Coburg, huge plant-based direction in this building alone. We have amazing Lona Missa, which is like a Latin-inspired flavoursome food. But I guess it's because of the different cultures that are coming to Australia, into Melbourne over the last 50 years that enabled us to just really embrace it. And I think we do that really well. We embrace people and cultures and food. And for me, it's all about families and even my wife, her background's Chilean, so I've had to learn the Latin American side and the Spanish over the last 25 years. So it's amazing. Yeah.
How fantastic. And tell me about the is it vegan or vegetarian, the restaurant that you do have at Ovolo? And is plant-based eating having a big comeback? Is it what's happening with that?
It's 100% vegan, open 5 nights a week. Um, I am still pleasantly surprised on how busy the venue is. It's been open for 5 years or just under 5 years. Um, and it's crazy busy. You'll do on a Friday and Saturday, 150, 160 covers for a 70-seat restaurant, the team push. So to answer your question about is it still popular? Yeah, it is. What we do here is pretty special, though. We work closely with she's a legendary chef, Shannon Martinez, and our head chef, a young guy called Santiago out of Colombia. So it's all flavor. It's all about plant-based, obviously, Latin-inspired. We got the parrilla grill, so everything's smoky, and it's abundance of flavors. But it will turn any carnivore into wanting more vegan food. I personally am not a vegan, but I eat there once a week, and I love it. Like the lion's mane steak, which is obviously a big mushroom, but yeah, I can't stop thinking about it.
Really?
And my wife calls me crazy. I'm like, you don't understand.
And well, I mean, being a former chef, are you one of those people who's super fussy at restaurants? It's like, no, I order this rare, it's slightly medium, and I no, are you like that? What is it like when you've been
Mm,
a chef and you eat out?
no. I don't know. Absolutely not. The team in the kitchen work really hard. The only time I'll send something back if it's really something's really wrong or off with it. But you go. It's a hard job in the kitchen. Um, but in saying that, also you notice the small things that matter, especially in today's, I guess, restaurant and hotel scene. The small things do matter. So everything has got its place and its purpose, and the blend of flavors, or even the cutlery or the crockery that's used and the glassware. It's super important. But I do notice the small things. But no, I wouldn't send have them back unless it's really bad, which it hasn't
But
been for a while.
yeah, that's good to hear. And what are the changes that you've seen and in trends and just in food generally within hotels in your career? Because there've been some pretty massive changes, right?
Yeah. Um, I guess it's all about for the last period of time. It's about wellness and smart
Mm.
eating and gut health and collagen drinks and so forth. You think it's a trend, but it's not, because people are a bit more conscious of what they put in their mouths and how it reacts to their bodies, and being a bit more health conscious. So definitely a trend through the wellness side. You see people eating a lot more plant based. You do. Um, the protein still has its purpose, because people obviously the iron rich in certain proteins. But even with beverages, you see a trend that the younger generation aren't drinking a lot of alcohol. They're moving away to I guess, the non-alcoholic pairings and things that are still crafted well, still that are made, things that are made extremely flavoursome and low sugar, but taste like alcohol, non-alcohol. So it's been a big evolution
Yeah, wow.
in hospitality.
Do you have non-alcoholic or low alcoholic offerings at Ovolos?
Yeah, absolutely. From combination of vegan wines to non-alcoholic wines, and the young team down there are pretty crafty, and they'll do some great pairings with non-alcoholic drinks and so forth. Yeah,
Wow, because
you
sober
have to
travel
cater.
is a huge trend,
Yeah,
actually going to a wellness retreat that's sober.
yeah, and the whole wellness, luxury wellness travel is big. And it's a market we're kind of working towards with Ovolo, because it's a purpose. It's a real direction of hospitality at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And who's coming to stay in Melbourne, in South Yarra, and at your hotel right now? Are people coming from all over the world, or are most of your guests from Australia?
Yeah, it's a good blend, to be honest. It's a great blend, Renee. It's from interstate and domestic, a lot of Sydney and Brisbane guests, but you get a heap of internationals as well. We were fortunate last week to have the English Lines tour, and Melbourne was full, much like Sydney, but every hotel in Melbourne was full, and everyone here at this hotel was here to have fun, and it was a great for 4 days. We had them for 4 days, and they were just a huge amount of fun. From drinking to playing pool down in our basement bar, and it was a real eye opener because we haven't seen that for a while in Melbourne, at least. When the Lions were here 10 years ago, or in Sydney, I think, and
Yeah.
back to Melbourne, so it's pretty cool, pretty cool.
Wow. But don't you think, I mean, I'm going to make a bold statement here, but I think that Melbourne is the best in Australia at hosting events like that. Even things like the Grand Prix, because you're small enough that everyone gets into it and excited, but you're large enough to really have so much to offer in terms of, luxury hotels, amazing food, and bars, especially. I mean, bar hopping in Melbourne is one of my favorite things to do.
You're absolutely right, and I think Melbourne does it well because everything's within close proximity. So obviously Melbourne Cricket Ground, the tennis centre, Grand Prix not too far from the CBD. So you've got this, a catchment of 5K radius around the CBD, and everything's there. And bar hopping is it's great. In here in South Yarra, we actually at the Ovolo we launched Havana Nights. So we do it one Friday a month, so once a month, I should say. And we've done our second one last Friday, and it's Latin inspired. Obviously, working with the team upstairs in Latin Mixer, so Latin inspired. We've got a live DJ, a live vocalist from somewhere from Latin America, and it was great. Friday was a big night. Everyone loved it. In-house guests loved it. We had a lot of locals come down, and they sent it through our socials, and they popped in for a dance and a little margarita and ate a vegan Cuban sandwich, which is pretty good. Um,
Wow. And that's one of the
but
big trends too I'm seeing with luxury hotels all over the world is the local community coming in and enjoying and celebrating in the way that you just described with your Latin night.
yeah, yeah, and South Yarra, it's a community. It's a driven community of locals. So a lot of businesses. So you can see the local community like to support local. So you're just around us. We've got obviously a beautiful hotel here, but we've got amazing food just down the road, great bars across from the train station. And you see the same faces from the apartments above, and I'll pop in for a coffee or a brekkie, and I'll go somewhere else the next day and say good morning and goodbye. So it's a real community feel out there.
How fantastic. And I read that you were at the Crown when it opened. Now, I have to say, the Crown in Melbourne when it opened was the biggest luxury hotel in Australia. I mean, it was just, it set the bar, didn't it, for opulence. And what was it like for you working there at that time?
Yeah, I just come back from London. Um, so I'd worked in this beautiful boutique part of London in this small luxury hotel, and then coming
Where was
into
that? Where was
I was in Belgravia, so I was based at this back then it was Starwood Hotel, so there's 3 properties in proximity. So it was all about luxury and refined luxury, and everything
Well,
was.
Belgravia is literally, I think, the most expensive suburb in the world, certainly in London. It's incredible.
Yeah, it still is, and it's a beautiful part of the world. I wish I'd say I lived there, but I didn't. I lived underneath the kebab shop in South Kensington, but
Oh, South
was
Kensington is pretty good. Don't tell me not the guy. I know that guy that runs that kebab shop. What's it called?
I've gone completely
Yuli.
blank.
His name's Yuri or
Yuli.
Yuli.
Yeah, I lived underneath there for a couple of years. That was fun. No natural daylight, but hey, had a great kebab after work. It's nice. But coming from like fast-paced London, but boutique hotel to Crown when it opens, and it was just extreme marbles and obviously just abundance of people and huge amount of restaurants. It was great. So changing my hat from this, I guess, refined service to this fast paced, bit more relaxed. Like Australia's been more relaxed in service, but the guest still wants that connection. They still want that, that professionalism, but they want to be spoiled and loved. And Crown was great when it first opened. Things have changed now. Luxury hotels have changed now. It's not about. I don't think it's about the marble and gold anymore. It's about crafted experiences and really getting to know your guests. Understanding why they're here and why the purpose of their visit, and working with the team to create memorable experiences. And that's what we do really well with Ovolo. So we're not a big hotel group. We're not a box of hotel rooms, so we lucky enough to get to meet a lot of my guests and get to know why they're here and create this genuine relationship with people.
Oh, fantastic. And of being a hotelier, I have to ask you, do you have aspirations to work overseas again? How do you feel about working in the rest of the world? Particularly, I mean, you said you've got a Chilean wife.
Yeah, I think, well, we've got a 2-year-old little girl, so I think for the next foreseeable future, Australia, Melbourne will be home. But you never say never. Hospitality, my poor wife's been very patient with me. Out of our lives, we spent about 8 years living in London, and then we spent about 8 years working across Australia through Melbourne, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney. We got a little stint in regional Victoria. So then we had a little girl, and we decided to make Melbourne home and just be close to the family. But yeah, like you said, my wife is Chilean, so there's always a dream to go to. Yeah,
Have
maybe
you
one day.
been? You been to Chile?
Yeah, many times. Absolutely,
It's
many times.
amazing, isn't it?
Oh, Santiago is gorgeous for everything from north to south,
Yeah.
from
No, I
the
loved it. And I went down to Patagonia. I thought that was incredible.
that is incredible. What a
Mm.
wow! It's like unbelievable, that whole experience. But even up in the north in the deserts and
Yes.
it's a special part of the world.
Yeah, there's so
And
much to
luckily
see. And
enough,
the, and the food, some of the best
oh,
food in the world is in South America.
it's beautiful. And luckily for us, we've got a heap of family there, so it's we really get spoiled with the local culture and you get taken to places. Yeah.
No, beautiful. And generally, when you travel, do you like to travel in luxury? Do you like to stay at hotels and get tips, to bring back to South Yarra?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually planning our next holiday. We were talking about it this morning. We've not taken our little girl out of Australia yet, so we're planning Hawaii. Maybe in October. So we're looking at some properties. Unfortunately, we don't have an Ovolo in Hawaii yet. So I might go back to my Marriott friends and stay at one of the W's or Ritz Carltons there. But yeah, we work hard. And we'd like to enjoy our time away. So if it's some luxury properties, but also if we go to Bali, we'll go to some of the villas and so forth. Or
No, absolutely.
Greece, we'll stay with family. Yeah,
How many Ovolos are there worldwide?
there's five. There's
Mhm.
5 Ovolos. But last week the owner, we've done a little partnership with Wyndham Hotels. So moving forward, all new Ovolos will expand with Wyndham Hotels, which is really exciting for us. And hopefully we'll get a lot more Ovolos through Southeast Asia. And watch this brand. It's definitely going to take off very soon.
No, absolutely. And I've stayed, as I said, I'm coming to see you in September, which I'm very excited about because I haven't experienced your hotel yet. But I have stayed at the Ovolo in Canberra when my children were younger and we had a great stay. Who would you say is your target market? Is it fairly young or because they're pretty funky?
Yeah, well, it's design-driven hotels, so it's all
Hmm.
about beautiful design. And this property alone, it's a purpose-built Ovolo, so it's a retro chic meets modern luxury, if that makes sense. So the hallways, it looks like you're going back into the 70s, and our rockstar suites are themed after Sonny and Cher, and then and the Beatles theme. But our demographic here, I guess it's where we are, very close to Richmond and Cremorne, so that's your tech capital of Melbourne at the moment. So we get a lot of corporates coming from the 30 to 50-year-old corporates coming through. The weekends, it's your couples and little staycations. It's a great blend actually. It's a really great blend.
Yeah, brilliant. Do you still have the free minibar?
We don't, but we've got a beautiful.
Oh, my kids and
I
I love that.
no,
Bring
we
it back.
don't. Discussion perhaps we will come back. We've got a beautiful minibar, but also a little retail shop downstairs that gets quite popular.
Fantastic. Well, look, it's been great talking to you, and I'm really excited now about coming to see you and, of course, coming to Melbourne and South Yarra. But we ask all our guests where to from here, and you can tell us about what you're doing today or next week or your next venture. So, where to from here for you?
Well, after this, I'll head down to Pound Cafe, which is on Oxford Street. They're my little local place, or they help me with my daily caffeine addiction. But on the weekend, with a little one, I'll probably head down to Moonee Ponds, not too far from home, which is a little in a suburb, and they got this great cafe that's it's got a little veggie patch and a couple hens running around. and the little one loves it. And to be honest, it's a great place for anyone. We just sit there and watch the little one chase the hens, and we have a beautiful brekkie. So that's probably where I'll be this
That
Saturday.
sounds absolutely idyllic, Christos.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And a little bit Greek with the chickens running around.
Yeah, it's just going back to Yarra's house. Yeah, but that memory always stays.
And that's what I was about to say. We can move all over the world, but where we come from stays somewhere inside us, right? It comes out in unusual ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, yeah, I'm really excited to see the hotel. Thank you for making the time to speak with us today. And all the best with Ovolo, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.